we need to solve this problem. We need to draw the ILD of support reactions and the moment and shear force at P by using the Müller's-Breslau principle, okay, which is nothing but the indirect method, okay, of drawing influence line diagram, right? So first we will see how to find the support reaction by using the Müller-Breslau principle, or you can say that by using the virtual work done method, which is a basis of what Müller's-Breslau principle, okay. So let us draw this beam again over here, okay. So this is the case, the total length of the beam is capital L, and this is the A point, right? So we need to find what is the influence line diagram for the moment for this vertical reaction VB and this moment MB, okay, when the unit load is traversing this beam along AB, right? So what we will do over here, this is our first, I'm applying some load over here at this point. Let us suppose this is unit load, right? This is at a distance of x from A, okay. So now you can see that let us suppose this is our first system, okay, and now what we will do in our second system, we will simply release this VB reaction. Okay, this is our original beam. Now we have released this VB reaction over here, okay, and we are giving the unit displacement, and we are giving the unit displacement, okay. This is nothing but unit displacement in the direction of VB, okay. What we are doing in this problem, that we were seeing the detailed derivation of the Müller's-Breslau principle, how to apply Müller's-Breslau principle in this cantilever beam, okay. So this is the unit displacement. Now this is, let us suppose this is our system 2, okay. This when we release the VB reaction over here, this system became unstable, okay. This is the unstable system, and we are giving the unit displacement in this direction of VB. So if we apply Bette's law in this system 1 and system 2, so the displacement, the work done by this unit force in going through the displacement of the second system will be 1 into minus 1 into delta. Why minus sign? Because this displacement is opposite to the direction of the applied load, right? So minus 1 into delta plus VB, force in system 1 VB, into displacement in system 2, right? So what is the displacement in system 2? It is unit displacement, okay. Now you can see that there is also some moment is acting over here, MB plus MB into 0. Why 0? Because the slope at this point is 0, okay. We are releasing the vertical reaction VB, and we are giving the unit displacement along that VB only. So there is no slope at this location, okay, for this system. So it will be M into 0 now, which is equals to force in system 2 multiply by the displacement in the system 1, okay. That is basically the virtual work. This is the virtual work, okay, which is equals to, here this is the unstable system, so there will be no reaction will be there, okay. So this will be our 0, right? So this is the equation. Now you can see that this term will be 0, okay. So VB into 1 equals to delta. So VB equals to nothing but delta, okay. So VB equals to delta means what? This is the deflection, the influence line, or the ordinate of the influence line, or you can say that the ordinate of the influence line is equal to the ordinate of the displacement ordinate of the elastic curve, or you can say that, or ordinate of the elastic curve, okay. When we have given the unit displacement along the direction of corresponding this reaction, okay. So if you want to find when the unit load is acting at this point at a distance x, what will be the VB? So VB will nothing but at a distance of x, what will be the displacement coordinate, okay. So VB is equals to what? Displacement coordinate, right? So if we draw the ILD if you draw the ILD for VB, it will be nothing but this value, okay, and it will be positive. So this is VB for ILD for VB, ILD for VB, okay. The unit load is acting anywhere in the beam. Let us suppose it is acting at a distance of again x1, at a distance x1. So the displacement, so the value of VB again will be equals to 1. Okay, we are seeing this by this we will get this value from this displacement, or you can say that the ordinate of this displacement or ordinate of the elastic curve basically. Okay, so this is the case of our unit load. Now we'll see what will be the influence line diagram for this MB value, right? So when we need to find MB moment, when we need to find MB for this influence line diagram for MB, what we will do again over here, at a distance of x, I am applying a unit load. Okay, this is the unit load, right? So when I am applying the unit load over here, right, and this is, let us suppose this is our system 1 and this is our system 2, where we will release the moment over here. Now what I am doing over here is I am releasing the moment. Okay, I am releasing the moment in the system 2 and I am giving the unit displacement, that is theta, along this theta at this point. Okay, so this is our theta equals to 1, or you can say that what is the direction of this moment? This is MB, so the theta direction will look like this. So this is theta, which is equals to unity. In the direction of the MB, so MB direction is like this. So I'm giving the unit displacement in this direction only. Okay. Now, and this theta is unit, right? So if we apply again the Beatty's law, as per the Beatty's law, the force in the system 1, multiply this unit load at now what will be this value? This is nothing but L minus of x into theta. So L minus of x into theta, there will be no negative sign because displacement and the force are in same direction, right? So 1 into L minus x into theta, right, and plus VB into 0, because there is no vertical displacement at this point. VB is acting at this point B, and there is no vertical deflection in system 2, right? So plus MB into theta equals to there will be no forces generated for this portion. Okay, so it will be equals to again 0. Okay, this is again the unstable. Okay, now if we look on this, now our this theta will cancel out. This is basically unity. So MB is nothing but equals to L minus of x. Okay, so MB is equals to L minus of x, right? So if we want, and you can see that this theta is unity. So okay, so this is MB equals to L minus of x, right? So now what we will do over here, we'll draw the ILD for this. Let us suppose this is ILD for MB, ILD for MB. Okay, so if we apply ILD for MB over here, you can see that what will be this is equals to L minus of x, right? This theta is basically what? Unity. So this value will also become L minus of x. Okay, L minus of x. Okay, so MB is nothing but the ordinate of this displacement, ordinate of this elastic curve. So MB is nothing but the ordinate of elastic curve, right? or elastic curve, or you can say that deflection curve when we are giving the unit deflection, right? Unit rotation at this point. So you can see that when x equals to 0, when x equals to 0, what will be the value of, when x equals to 0, the value, what will be the value of MB? MB is nothing but L. Okay. And when the value of x is equals to L, then MB is nothing but equals to 0, right? And this is the negative sign showing it is that hogging moment. Okay. So this is the way you get the influence line diagram for MB by using the concept of the Miller-Brest law principle, where you can see that this is the value of the ordinate of this deflection curve. Okay, this is L minus x, so this and this ordinate will again be equal to L minus of x, because this theta is unity, right? So this is the way you will solve for this support moment. Now we'll see how to apply this equation when there is a shear. Now we need to find the shear force for the shear force at point P when the unit load is traversing this cantilever beam, which is AB. Okay, so as per the Miller's-Brest law principle, if we want to find the shear force at point P, we need to release that shear force. Okay, so what we will do over here, this is, let us suppose this is our beam, this is A and this is B, and we need to find the shear force at point P. So I need to release that shear force, right? So when the shear force is released, it will look like this. Okay, so as you can see that, and the internal forces at this point P in the original beam will look like this. Okay, these are the positive, these are of positive, this is positive shear force and positive bending moment, right? So now when the shear force is released, and we need to apply the unit deformation along this shear, along this P point, okay, along this P point in vertical plane. So what we will do over here, first we will see one thing over here. As you can see that this beam is statically determinate of 0 degree, right? Because here there are two reactions, okay, one vertical and one moment. So if summation 2 minus of summation m 0 and summation f 0, okay, so two unknowns, two equilibrium equations, so it will be 0. Now what is happening is that when we releasing this shear force, this beam is becoming unstable. Okay, when we release this, when we are releasing the shear force, this beam is becoming unstable, right? So what is by meaning is that its stiffness is becoming 0. Stiffness of this beam is 0. Okay, what is meant by this is that if the stiffness is 0, okay, when you apply the unit deformation in this beam, the members won't bend. Okay, there won't be any bending in the beam. Okay, that's why we have seen that in case of the determinate structure, the influence lines are always straight lines. Why? Because we are drawing the influence line for a determinate structure, and the procedure is that we need to release that component for which we need to find the influence line diagram. Okay, so when we are releasing some component, here we are releasing, let us suppose, shear force, then this beam is becoming unstable. Okay, so for that reason, the deflection diagram will only include what you can say that straight lines, right? The members won't bend over here, okay, because it loses the stiffness. The stiffness of this is 0, right? So if we apply this concept over here, and we will apply unit deformation in this direction and this direction, right? So you can see over here, when we are applying the unit deformation, when we are releasing the shear force from shear force at point P, this member AP is, this beam is divided into two members. One is AP and other is PB. Okay, and when we are releasing the shear force, that means these members can move in vertical plane. Okay, they are sharing each other, so they can move in vertical plane. Okay, but you can see that when this portion is moving in vertical plane, it will come down like this. Okay, this portion will come down like this, right? And for this portion you can see that when you are applying the unit deformation, it will trying to bend, okay, but this won't be possible. Why? This thing we have already discussed previously, because this member has loses its stiffness, so this portion, this support will not allow this portion to move upward, okay. So for these reasons, you can see that our deflection diagram, or you can say that the elastic curve will look like this, okay. Our elastic curve will look like this. Right. So this is the what you can say that this is the value of this is the ILD for shear. And why it is the ILD for shear, we'll see now. Okay, when you are applying, let us suppose when this is the original beam over here, okay, and this is the point P. When we are applying the unit load at this point, let us suppose at a distance of an x, okay, and this is the deflection diagram which we are getting. This is a deflection diagram which we are getting over here, okay. So as you can see that if we apply the Beatty's law, and this is system 1 and this is our system 2, okay. So this is system 1 and system 2. If we apply Beatty's law between these 2 points, and at this vertical here we'll have one shear force VP, either VP, one moment MP and one moment MP, okay. So we are not taking work done due to MP because they will cancel out each other, right. So and it is, the slope is 0. Here also you can see that the slope is 0, and this beam will, here this portion will remain straight, okay. So this is the ILD for, you can say that this is the ILD for your shear force at point P, okay. So when the unit load is acting at this point, the shear force is 0. So now you can see that here in this diagram also you can see that all the members are the deflections is none of the member is bending, okay. PB, there is no bending in PB and there is no bending in AP. So when we apply, now we'll see when we applying the Beatty's law in this system 1 and system 2, I can write corresponding to 1, the deflection is unit only, 1 unit, okay. So I can write over here 1 into delta suppose at x, which is equals to, which is nothing but unity, plus Vp into again delta P, which is, this is again unity, this is unit deformation, equals to 0, okay, equals to 0. This for this force, the member is the deformation is 0, delta P is 0, okay. That's why I'm not writing it, or you can say that equals to 0. So you can write over here 1 into delta x equals to minus of Vp into delta P, and these are unity. So Vp is nothing but minus 1, okay. So which means is that the direction which we have assumed in the shear force Vp, it is acting opposite to that direction, okay. So actually in reality at this point the shear force will look like this, okay. So which is a negative shear force. So our shear force, the ILD for the shear force will be look like this. This is negative shear force, okay. So this is the case of the shear force at point P in case of the cantilever beam, okay. We need to remember that when we are releasing anything in the determinate structure, that structure is big, the structure is loosed is stiffness, okay. There won't be any bending in the member, right. Now we'll see what will be the ILD for moment at point P, okay. So for moment at point P, we need to, this is the actual beam over here, point P. At point P, this is shear force Vp, this is moment MP, and here the moment MP, right. So we need to find the shear ILD for the moment at point P. For that we need to release, you can say that moment at point P. To do that, we'll provide internal hinge at point P. Okay, so this is the nothing but this is the internal hinge. So when we are providing the internal hinge in the beam, this beam becomes unstable, stiffness 0, and no member will bend. No member will bend. There will be only rigid body displacement. Rigid body displacement. Okay. So when this thing is happening and we are applying the unit load, the unit deformation in this case, okay. So when we are applying unit deformation along this moment, so it will bend like this, it will displace like this, okay, it will displace like this, and this portion will remain again straight, because the member bending is not allowed in this case, okay, member won't bend over here. Okay, so this is the case over here, right? And this theta is equal to nothing but this is unit deformation in terms of theta. Okay, which means is that whenever the load, the ILD is showing that whenever the load is acting right of the P, the bending moment at the beam will be 0. The bending moment at the point P is nothing but 0. Okay, so this is the important part over here. When we are providing some internal hinge at this point, this beam is becoming unstable. Okay, so there won't be any deformations, there won't be any bending in any of the member. Okay, this beam will behave as a rigid body displacement. So rigid body displacement is possible in this case, in this portion only. Here this fixed support is not allowing any rigid body displacement. So this will become straight only. This will remain straight only. Okay. So you can say that these two lines are the straight lines. Okay, again this is straight line, right? Now if you apply the what you can say that the Bette's law, and let us suppose our unit load is acting at this portion at a distance x, 1 unit load. Okay. So if you apply the Bette's law between this system and these two systems, so I can write this is at a distance of an x, and this is a minus of x. Okay, so this theta is 1, so this distance will also become a minus of x, this ordinate. Okay, so if we apply the Bette's law, so this is system 1 and this is system 2. So 1 into a minus of x, plus mp into 1, right? mp into 1 because unit deformation, plus mp into 0 equals to plus mp into 0 equals to this thing is what, nothing but 0. Okay, so here you can write that mp is equals to minus of a minus of x. Okay, so which means is that so you can say that the ordinate value, the ordinate will be at a distance x, the ordinate is a minus of x, okay, with negative sign. So this is the MP value is corresponding to the ordinate of the elastic curve. Okay, this is nothing but ordinate of elastic curve. Okay, so now you can see that at x equals to 0, the bending moment will be equals to minus a, and x equal to a, the bending moment will become equals to 0, and again it will look like this. Okay, so now you can say that this value is ne. So when the load is this is negative sign is basically so showing that the hogging moment, Okay, so this thing covers our the basic example of Mueller's base law principle. And and one more thing, the negative direction, it means that the moment at this point is acting in this direction. Okay, this negative sign, this negative sign shows that the MP direction is opposite, which we have assumed. So it is showing basically the hogging moment, right? So this is the basic problem which we have solved, which we have solved in this Mueller's base law principle, where the cantilever beam is there and we need to find the shear force bending moment at point P. Okay, one important thing we learned over here is that when we are releasing any component in the determinate structure, okay, whether it is an internal force or external force, the structure is becoming unstable, which means that its stiffness and stiffness will be zero, and there will only be the rigid body displacements. Okay, so this is the easiest problem which we have discussed. Now in the next lectures we will discuss little more tough problem. Okay, so if you have any doubt, you can write in the comment section. Okay guys, thank you very much.